Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Kay, and for today's swatch sesh, I'm going to feature ILNP's Snow Day collection, which they sent over to me as PR. So we actually have 6 snuggly creme polishes to look at. These are all part of ILNP's Studio Color collection. Now, ILNP is 7-free, they're cruelty-free, they're also vegan in case you like to support these things. So let's check out the polishes, let's swatch them out, and then we will meet up for the good, the Brad, and the Prugly. Flurry. We kick off the sesh with Flurry, which is described as a pale cornflower blue color. This is a creme. It is naked and bare of any elements, making any imperfections pretty noticeable. So the formula is going to be really important here. And personally, I found that the thickness or viscosity of this creme is at the sweet spot in that it's very easy to control without flooding the cuticle, which also depends on user application, right? But the formula plays a part as well. When it comes to the color, I think it's very true to that pale cornflower description that ILNP gave it. These pale blues are like a must-have for winters if you're seasonally appropriate, of course. Woven. Next up is Woven, which is described as a tawny brown, not a very bold color, but this collection isn't about boldness, it's actually about the opposite. Now, you might have noticed that both with Flurry and this polish, there is some excellent self-leveling power in these formulas. This has what I consider to be a beginner-friendly formula. If you look at my application, you'll notice that there's essentially no trail of brushstrokes and zero drag even when I'm going over the polish itself, and that is evident in my end result here. Like really, where are the brush strokes? Where are the ridge lines? Because they are not in this polish, but what is in this polish is just this overall sense of grounding. I do like the warmth and the earthiness that this polish is so incredibly reminiscent of. Cloudy Days. Next, I want to feature Cloudy Days, which is a mid-tone gray. And for those of you who may need the extra insight, that just means that it doesn't lean to the black or white extreme of gray. It's more in the middle or a mid-tone. And it makes sense to go that route, especially because it seems like ILNP is trying to replicate the color of a gloomy or maybe stormy, cloudy sky. Now, at this point, I am finalizing that second coat. I could have just let it be with one, but a second just makes me feel safer, if that makes any sense. Take a look at my end result here. I do love me a nice gray, light grays, dark grays. I definitely dig them all, and I think Cloudy Days will be a perfect addition for anyone looking for a clear touch of gray on their nails that's more soothing than bold or striking. Mittens. What a cute color. Seriously, I don't think that I would have grabbed Mittens on my own, but I am feeling oddly interested in what Mittens is bringing to the table. This is a light rosy mauve color, which is incredibly serene, soft, and just so gentle on the eyes. Now, Mittens was a bit different compared to the other polishes that I've swatched so far. I did get some visible streaks on the first coat. This is the only one so far that I wouldn't wear in one coat due to those streaks. But as you can see in my end result here, the second coat seemed to have done a good job at filling those in. And personally, I always wear at least 2 coats anyway, so I can forgive it. Overall, I feel like this was a nice addition to the color palette. It lightens up the collection as a whole, and I actually want to dive deeper into this topic at the end of the video. Pullover. Moving on to Pullover, where we get a little touch of drama. Not fully though, it's just a darker color, but it still has that moody, sophisticated, kind of subdued flavor which fits into the collection theme. ILNP does describe this as a polar blue, and it has that excellent viscosity, self-leveling power, and that amazing coverage that the majority of the other polishes in this collection have. This is yet another one that I could have worn in one coat if I was that rushed, but I'm not. So my end result here is after 2 coats. I feel like when looking at this polish within the collection as a whole, this one brings visual interest and depth. It's that pop of color, that bit of extra drama that adds a touch of contrast and boldness to the color story that we have here. Undercovers. Here we have a creamy ivory shade, a very simple color, but it is that simplicity that helps it cross all 4 seasonal borders. You can definitely rock this one any time of year, and it can also just be used as a palette cleanser. Now, when it comes to the color itself, even though the theme here is Snow Day, adding in a plain white color wouldn't have made any sense, right? Because white lacks warmth. White isn't cozy or mellow. It doesn't put the eye at ease, but I do feel like the collection would have been lacking something if it didn't have a color that was somehow pointing you in the direction of white. So overall, I'm not an ivory lover, but I think this color fits perfectly in this type of collection. And those were the swatches. So let's be real here for a moment. Am I the target audience for this collection? Absolutely not. But that doesn't mean that I can't speak on the quality of the formula, on the general vibe, and how the colors relate back to this winter season and the snow day theme in general. And when it comes to that general vibe, I feel like ILNP nailed it with creating that really comforting, really soothing, easy on the eyes kind of color scene. Mittens here plays a very important part in all of this, because without Mittens, the color story here feels a little masculine. And I know masculine can mean a lot of things, but you get what I'm saying, right? It feels a little heavy. A little like elemental. However, throw Mittens into the mix, and I personally feel like the mood brightens up and also adds a little bit of color. A little bit of color aside from the blues, of course, because I mean, aside from this pink and the blues, every other color is just a neutral. I don't know though. Let me know your thoughts on that. And while you think about that, I will let you know that if you had money for just one polish, I would go with Mittens. If you had money for 2, I would add in Cloudy Days. And if you had money for 3, I would throw in Pullover. So these were my top 3 favorites, but all of them were favorites when it comes to the formula. I mean, they applied beautifully. You all saw the swatches. So this Snow Day collection drops on Friday, December 12th via the ILNP website, of course. And I think that is it for me. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the swatch sesh. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.